It really should come as no surprise that the blockchain with the most impressive roadmap, technology, mission statement, and mass adoption strategy will give birth to an ecosystem of decentralized applications that's equally as impressive. For anyone who takes the time to research Cardano, will quickly identify that what is evolving here is inevitably going to deliver that real-world utility the entire blockchain industry has seemingly been in an endless search to achieve. I read a quote recently that really resonated with me. If you truly believe in blockchain's mission statement of banking the unbanked and pushing power to the edges, then logically, you should believe in Cardano. ADA may not have led the speculation bubbles, but as a result of its architecture, it will certainly lead the utility bull markets, as quite simply, it's never been focused on anything else. Whilst the majority of the blockchain space seems solely intent on capturing as many users as possible that are already operating within the industry, Cardano has set its sights on a much larger group of people, that group being the rest of the world. And when the utility bull market begins, I can't see another chain more primed to take centre stage and capture a user base that is currently far beyond crypto's wildest dreams. Welcome back for today's instalment of Cardano Insights, where we track the all important developments at the very pulse of Cardano and its ecosystem. So let's get straight into it. First up today, we're going to take a look at an interesting project which may have already been responsible for delivering the first stablecoin into the Cardano ecosystem. Back in June, you may remember IOG released a short video providing an insight into the audit and certification workshop that was held in Barcelona back in May. One of the individuals featured was Miguel from a project called Shareslake, who are building an open global blockchain-based stock market built on top of its own Cardano network. Now, with all of the recent focus surrounding the imminent arrival of stablecoins coming to the Cardano ecosystem, this project recently caught my attention, as despite what some of the other players are claiming with regards to being the first Cardano stablecoins, Shareslake, in the introduction of their native Cardano stablecoin Redeemable, or RED, may have already beaten everyone else to the finish line. Now, Shareslake is a fully stable extension of the Cardano ecosystem and aims to serve those applications where volatility is simply not an option. Built off the back of a fiat-backed stablecoin Redeemable, the Shareslake network was the first ever Cardano fork which supports all Cardano features, however it's powered by Redeemable rather than ADA. From what I understand, the stablecoin Redeemable is a totally new concept of stablecoin backed to living costs. This enables holders to be protected from crypto volatility and fiat inflation. Preserving value has always been a big problem faced by humanity, but it's one that's commonly solved by investing. Shareslake, by ensuring the reserve of dollars changes at the same rate as the consumer price index does, means the redeemable acquisition power will remain stable over time no matter how the fiat economy behaves. To achieve that, the reserved dollars of Redeemable will be put into treasury inflation protected securities, which are a kind of government issued bond. When the TIPS matures, if the principal is higher than the original amount, the end user will receive the increased amount. If the principal is equal to or lower than the original amount, you'll still get the original amount. TIPS are considered one of the most secure investments because throughout history, the government has never failed to pay their interest. The example they provide to demonstrate this concept in action is to imagine today that you can buy an apple for $1, which equals one redeemable, that's one red stablecoin. If for instance in 5 years you can buy the same apple but for $1.40, you'll still be able to purchase this apple with just one redeemable. Anyone can mint new redeemable tokens by adding USD to the Shareslake fiat reserve and in turn burn the redeemable to get back the USD. The Shareslake dashboard works both with the Shareslake and Cardano mainnets. The dashboard also supports ADA deposits which are cashed out into USD before being added to the fiat reserve. The redeemable tokens can be moved between the Shareslake and Cardano networks irrespective of which ones they were originally minted on via the Shareslake bridge. Redeemable tokens can currently be exchanged on the Cardano mainnet at Wingriders, MinSwap, MusiSwap and SundaySwap. Now, the concept of the redeemable stablecoin and what the team at Shareslake are building in terms of the platform is intriguing, but if I'm honest, I'm still trying to get my head around understanding the platform itself and how it all works entirely. I will be doing further research into this project and following developments here closely. In the meantime, before anyone goes ahead and interacts with the red stablecoin, I'd strongly advise you take a look at some of the links I've provided in the description and do some of your own research. Technically speaking, and from what I understand, they have indeed delivered the first stablecoin on the Cardano blockchain, and one that uses an entirely new concept to what we've become accustomed to. Next up, and with utility bull markets in mind, we turn to a project that is no secret I'm a great admirer of. Book.io, ever since they introduced themselves into the Cardano ecosystem, have moved very quickly from being thought of as a project with great promise to one that's demonstrating a tremendous amount of utility, showing all the signs that they're becoming an adoption-driving powerhouse of Cardano and blockchain technology. In a recent tweet, they shed some light on a statistic that shows just how far they've come in such a short space of time. Here they write, only 97 days since our first sale and we've already minted over 30,000 books. The numbers here and timeframe achieved is highly impressive, and for me, a sign that much bigger milestones will be met in a very short-term time horizon. When we consider how Book have brought a real-world use case to NFTs that specifically targets an industry in much need of revolutionizing, the positive impacts of digital ownership these DEAs provide authors, publishers, and the end user alike, it's a formidable recipe for a success on a global scale. If you take a moment to evaluate just how quickly Book have been able to take this concept to market, secure major deals with Ingram, the world's leading book distributor, BDMI, a subsidiary of a global media conglomerate, attract the attention of best-selling authors, and importantly, create such great levels of participation in terms of the consistent sellout of the initial mints and vibrant secondary market sales thereafter, it seems an inevitability now that the next 3 months of growth are going to be even more explosive than what we've already witnessed. Book's mission to enable everyone to own their digital books, not just license them as they do now from centralized retailers, but have full ownership and control at the point of purchase, is being realized in real time and demonstrates exactly how blockchain can unlock the promise of the internet. The fact that now we can own and resell the digital goods we buy is a major step towards realizing a world where the 1.1 billion people who read digitally can truly harness the power of blockchain technology. Following up on Joseph Nassis, the New York Times best-selling author, and his recent mint of his book The Heretic, reaffirms that Book is already going mainstream. As highlighted in this recent press release, the mint was a major success, with the entire collection selling out in just 45 seconds, and within the first 3 days, the secondary market sales surpassed $20,000 in volume. Something I found extremely telling is what Joseph Nassis had to say about Book and their recent partnership. He stated, "In my 20 years in the publishing industry, I've never encountered a team more dedicated to the author-publisher relationship. Being able to offer truly unique digital books to readers was a delight. As Book.io continues to grow and expand, I hope to be right there beside them well into the future. Working with them has been a highlight of my career." Now, this is coming from a seasoned professional best-selling author of more than 50 books, and for me is an encouraging sign that the dominoes are beginning to fall one by one. As more authors follow in his footsteps, turning to blockchain, importantly Cardano and Book.io as the platform of choice to conduct their business, this will bring with them their mainstream audiences, many of which may have never interacted with blockchain technology before. With all this in mind, it's not difficult to imagine how Book.io can very quickly make massive inroads in terms of capturing a huge part of the market share in the ebook industry and drive new users to blockchain technology. As always, we're going to continue to follow the progress of this project very closely on Cardano Insights. Next, and yesterday we got the news that another Cardano dApp has just hit the public testnet in the form of Optim Finance. It's actually another project that we're yet to feature on this channel, but one that's building a solid reputation for bringing some pretty unique and innovative utility to the Cardano ecosystem. With the mainnet now seemingly very close, let's take a quick look at what Optim Finance will be delivering in the form of their SPO liquidity bonds. In essence, Optim's SPO bonds address one problem. As we know, starting a staple on Cardano is a tall order, as SPOs need to find a way to attract delegators to make the running of a pool sustainable. This is an extremely resource-expensive process, and pools with low delegation are usually less profitable, or in many cases, not profitable at all. With Optim's SPO bonds, small SPOs can borrow cost-effective liquidity from a group of market participants to bootstrap ADA delegation during the early stages of their operation. Therefore, SPOs can mint blocks consistently while providing a competitive staking APR. Currently, as an SPO, it's difficult to establish organic growth if the delegation return on ADA can't compete to better performing pools. Optim SPO bonds set out to tackle this issue head-on and are currently to be used by SPOs as a tool to generate enough runway to effectively leverage their marketing campaigns. SPOs will be able to issue 1 to 2 million ADA bonds for 6, 12 or 18 month periods. SPO bond liquidity providers obtain a 1.5% interest from the SPO on top of their original staking rewards. This brings delegator return on ADA from around 3% up to 4.5%, a rate only seen in the largest 30 million plus ADA delegation pools. Any market participant will be able to contribute by pooling funds into a single 1 to 2 million ADA bond. The minimum bond size was calculated based on the amount of stake necessary for SPOs to mint blocks consistently and receive the optimal amount of ADA staking rewards. In effect, by reducing barriers of entry and starting a stake pool operation, Optim's SPO bonds aims to further decentralize the Cardano network by offering competitive return on ADA for small pools. I've linked an article in the description which delves a little deeper into this concept if you're interested to find out more. Optim's liquidity bonds, however, will extend further than just SPOs and will enable the ability to also lend to ecosystem projects or individual users. They also intend on introducing real-world asset vaults that enable the deployment of crypto liquidity to the real world through small-medium enterprise lending that powers innovation in the real-world economy. In addition, they aim to deliver strategy vaults that will offer passive investment tools that optimize yield on digital assets, increase APY, capturing the best DeFi native yield opportunities, and all with easy deposits and withdrawals. So for an in-depth look at Optim Finance and the features of the platform, I've linked their Gitbook documents page in the description below. Now this week we were blessed with a World Mobile Twitter space, so I thought I'd give a quick heads up on some of the highlights that came out of the discussion. First up, the team at World Mobile have officially put an end to the when merch memes that many of the World Mobilers have been trolling them with for some time now. This is something the community has been asking for, and during the session they confirmed the official World Mobile merch shop is now open, so everyone can go ahead and get kitted out World Mobile style, linked in the description. To celebrate the launch of the World Mobile merch store, they've also kindly applied a 10% discount on all products until November 1st as part of the launch offer. But next we go to the slightly more serious business of aerostats. During the discussion, the team talked about how the work that they're currently carrying out in Zanzibar is setting the precedence for Africa and the rest of the world in terms of communications using aerostats. Like most firsts, whilst the initial launch that everyone, myself included, is highly anticipating may seem like it's taking some time to come through to fruition, this is the most difficult step, being the first of its kind in uncharted territory. Once the first aerostat gets the green light, this will be the stepping stone for this model to be replicated elsewhere far more efficiently, serving as the reference model when approaching new sites and regions. In terms of a specific date for launch, they confirmed it's now firmly in the hands of the officials and regulators in Tanzania. World Mobile believe that they've answered all the outstanding questions, delivered all the facts, and presented all the benefits and safety precautions required to satisfy the officials, so seemingly now it's just a matter of time for the officials in Tanzania to complete their internal processes and give World Mobile the green light to fly. Interestingly, World Mobile also confirmed there's a second balloon being launched in parallel to the one in Zanzibar that's located in Wyoming, USA. This has been through the first phase of testing and is now moving from the testing phase to the planning of deployment. Ultimately, what I gathered by this part of the discussion is that the aerostat in Zanzibar is still on course to be launched this quarter, and the launch in the USA will more likely occur in the first quarter of 2023. World Mobile also confirmed that this week they'll release a new updated roadmap that will outline all the new developments that were not included in the original roadmap and specify exactly what we can expect from World Mobile over the following 4 quarters. The team did, however, offer a little teaser explaining that one of the questions they get asked most frequently is when World Mobile testnet, to which they confirmed it will be released this quarter before the end of the year. As soon as the new roadmap is live and/or any further World Mobile developments take place, as always, we'll be tracking it all right here on Cardano Insights. In the meantime, I've linked the full Spaces session in the description for anyone who wants to take a deep dive and listen back to the full conversation. So that's it for today's installment of Cardano Insights as we keep track of the developments and continue to spread those positive Cardano vibes. If you found value in the content and want to help the channel connect the so far unconnected, then please be sure to comment, share, like, subscribe and hit that notification bell, which is the best way you can help support the channel. We'll be back soon with your daily roundup. Until then, thanks for watching, have a great day, and as always, keep it Cardano.